Have you ever sat at the piano, played two chords you actually liked, and then found yourself stuck, unsure of what should come next? Many composers believe they need years of theory or hours of free time to write beautiful piano music. But with just a handful of proven techniques, it's possible to create music that's expressive and moving, even if you have limited time. Now, I've worked with hundreds of aspiring composers, and I've seen how small practical changes can make a huge difference. So in this video, I'll walk you through 7 harmonic and melodic techniques you can use right away to make your music more emotional and compelling, just like this. So let's begin by selecting a key for your piece. For this piece, I've chosen G minor. Now personally, I find that minor keys instantly create a more emotional and cinematic atmosphere, perfect for the kind of reflective and emotional tone that we're aiming to create. So here are all the chords with the G natural minor scale. The chords I'm using are G minor, E flat major, C minor, and then back to G minor. But if we adjust just one chord, the mood shifts noticeably. Notice the difference? With C minor, things sound darker and unresolved. But replace it with C major, and suddenly there's a sense of lift, almost a hint of hope. The C major chord contains a note, E natural, that doesn't normally appear in the key of G minor. It's found in G Dorian instead. So we're briefly borrowing a chord from G Dorian. The small change brightens the sound and gives a hint of surprise. Borrowed chords are like flashes of colour added to a black and white picture. Unexpected, but they can suddenly bring everything alive. Sometimes, the most emotional results come from bending the rules just a little, a technique I often encourage with my students. If something resonates with you, trust your ear. You don't always need to follow the rules to write music that connects with people. So go ahead and pick 4 chords from your chosen key as a starting foundation, and remember that stepping outside the established key with a borrowed chord can be incredibly effective. If you need some inspiration, I've put together a chords progressions cheat book. It's packed with 62 progressions across a range of genres to help you get ideas flowing quickly. You can grab it free using the link below the video. Now let's bring some life to these chords by introducing movement in the right hand. One of the simplest, yet most effective ways to add some instant emotion is by using pedal notes, single notes that remain constant while the harmony shifts underneath. This instantly adds colour, introduces tension, and creates a sense of forward movement. So in this example, I'm using D as my pedal note. Played in a steady rhythm, it provides a heartbeat and suddenly shifts the feel as the underlying chords change. Over G minor, D is already part of the chord, so it sounds normal. But over the E flat major chord, that same D turns the chord into E flat major 7, adding a gentle and almost dreamy character. Something you'll hear often in pieces by composers like Eric Satie. Then during the C major chord, the D creates extra tension, heard as a ninth. For best results, try the tonic or dominant, the first or fifth notes of your scale, as your pedal note. Now, as you can hear, pedal notes are both quick to implement and can yield dramatic results. Now, let's create more momentum by exploring more movement in the right hand. Now, to keep your piece from feeling static, let's introduce arpeggios, breaking up chords and playing the notes separately. Now, an effective and straightforward approach is to maintain your tonic chord, in my case G minor, with an arpeggio in your right hand, while your left hand moves through the different bass notes that match your chord progression. Now this can create some rich harmonic textures. When the G minor arpeggio is layered over E flat, you get the characteristic sound of E flat major 7. Over C major, that gives us the extensions of B flat, the 7th, and D, the 9th again. Now if you want to add warmth and richness, make use of the sustain pedal. Just remember to lift it with every chord change to keep the notes from muddying the harmony. Now let's look at how you can develop your piece with added harmonic variety and melodic movement. So now that we have an engaging rhythmic pattern, let's start building intensity. One of the most natural ways to do this is to gradually add more notes and layers as your piece continues. A straightforward way to add to your left hand is with the addition of the fifth to each chord on top of the root. This adds weight and helps the music grow without losing its simplicity. Meanwhile, you can also vary your right hand arpeggios by occasionally inserting extra notes from the scale. For instance, here I add the note of A between the usual arpeggio notes, which naturally creates an ascending line, G, A, B flat, and then back to A. And repeating an idea like this through your progressions can give a sense of melodic direction and subtle emotional lift. Varying your chord progression slightly can also be effective in creating some variety. Here you can see I return to E flat major 7 before then moving up to F9. This replaces the G minor chord that was covering these two bars in previous sections. So this subtle development, balancing repetition and new detail, is at the heart of cinematic writing, and is something I help my students master with one-to-one feedback so their music always feels like it's going somewhere. Next, let's make your piece truly memorable by creating a clear melodic idea. So at this point, many composers get stuck. Moving from chords and patterns to crafting a melody can feel like a big leap. But your melodic idea doesn't have to be complex. A short, memorable motive is often all you need. Try moving your arpeggiated accompaniment to the left hand and focusing the right hand on creating a simple motive. Just 3 to 8 notes with a distinct rhythm. By starting small, it helps you to generate ideas without feeling overwhelmed. In my example here, I used 3 rising quarter notes that begin on the second beat. Very simple, but also quite catchy. So once you have your motive, repeat it so listeners become familiar with it. Then develop it. Perhaps change its direction or roll to the ending slightly so it's not always the same. After 4 bars, I start the original motive again, but rise up higher, helping the melody to evolve. To add additional interest, try harmonizing parts of your melody with intervals like thirds or sixths, a straightforward way to enrich your sound, as you can see in bars 30 and 31. For your left hand, keep the accompaniment supportive and clear. Root to fifth to root patterns are simple but effective. They anchor the harmony and let your melody shine. Now let's turn up the emotional energy and build towards a strong climax. Now every great piece of music leads the listener somewhere. So to easily ramp up the intensity, simply repeat your melody, but this time play it in octaves. It's an easy technique that instantly helps to make the sound fuller, brighter, and more intense. Using octaves is like switching from a single candle to a chandelier. Using the same light source, but suddenly everything has more intensity. Consider also moving your melody to a higher register. For the climax in this piece, I bring the top note up to a high C over an F major chord, creating a real sense of arrival and release. Once you've reached your piece's high point, remember every good journey needs a resolution. So let's finish with a sense of return. Often, a satisfying ending is about symmetry and closure. One of the quickest ways to achieve this is to return to your opening, repeating the first few bars so the piece feels balanced and resolved. So here I've simply copied the first 8 bars with the pedal notes, used my chord variation at the end of the section, and then added some further variation with the notes of G and A. So using the intro as the basis, but then adding some variety. If you'd like, you can also experiment with very subtle tempo changes as you round things up, slowing down a bit to let the listener know the journey is concluding. So let's listen to the whole piece with the notation to hear how these techniques build from start to finish. So load a piano sound into your DAW and have a go at writing a solo piano track using the step-by-step method we've just been through. The great thing about writing for a solo piano is that you don't need to spend a ton of time wrestling with various sample libraries and tweaking MIDI CCs in order to achieve a polished mock-up. Spend time making sure your MIDI velocities are helping to create an expressive performance. Remember that a real player won't play 2 consecutive notes at exactly the same volume. So if you find yourself drawing in a lot of notes with the mouse, make sure there is subtle variation in each note's velocity. So now you know the simple tricks you can use to quickly write beautiful piano music. To take your composing up another level, you'll want to write pieces which incorporate other instruments. So watch this video next, where I'll show you exactly how to write and expand a simple idea into a cinematic piece step by step, using a variety of instruments and musical colours.